What's up, everybody? Mike here, and welcome to the Weekly Gaming News. Kicking things off with Ghost of Tsushima being the second best PlayStation launch on Steam. So in case you didn't know, this dropped on Steam May 16th, as well as Epic Game Store, and it was handled by Nix's Software, a Sony-owned studio responsible for porting Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, and more titles. Ghost of Tsushima originally debuted in 2020, and although it is far from perfect, it quickly captured thousands of fans with its beautiful setting, combat system, and engaging narrative that allows exploration of a vast open world. And so after 4 years of waiting, it finally comes to PC with great success. As you can see here with the image here, the charts when it comes to PlayStation games with Steam, it's unsurprising that Helldivers 2 is still the most popular PlayStation launch on Steam by a large margin. Although the samurai game by Sucker Punch has a good reception at its launch and is, overall a great game in its own right, I can see why it's, not above Helldivers 2 in terms of, its popularity and whatnot and peak and stuff like that in terms of players on Steam. But it does surpass God of War and Marvel Spider-Man, so we'll see what happens, in the future too, with the next rumored, speculated title to come to Steam being God of War Ragnarok. That might surpass Ghost of Tsushima, it might not. And objectively speaking, this is a good upward trend for PlayStation games that are on Steam as far as how they're doing, how the players are, receiving them, things like that. Despite the recent, issues of how Sony's decided to handle the several countries that can't even make a PSN account, stuff like that, whatnot. So it's wild, but I'm glad objectively Ghost of Tsushima as a video game is doing well, because objectively speaking, it is a great video game. Next up, Black Myth Wukong releases new trailer for the Wii game event. So if you haven't checked out this trailer yet, oh man, it is awesome, gets you hyped. Just a reminder, this game is coming out August 20th of this year. And this is a game that's thought of the maybe, I don't know if it was ever coming out type thing. It's been in development for a long time. I was a little, skeptical a bit at times too if it's ever coming out, so glad to see that it's actually going to be coming this year, and we'll probably get another gameplay trailer of sorts, maybe at Summer Games Fest or another event. And this new footage showcases bosses, enemies, and action sequences never before seen in previous trailers, featuring very fluid gameplay and stunning visual elements. For me personally, outside of FF7 Rebirth, which already came out earlier this year, this is probably my other most anticipated game for 2024. I've always been a big fan of like Asian culture and Asian mythology, both, Chinese and Japanese. And I love the Monkey King's, lore and stuff like that. And this is based on that. This is no doubt going to get more people interested in this game. And hopefully I want this game to do well from a sales standpoint, objective standpoint. Like, I want this game to be a very fun game and get more players involved in these type of games. I believe this is going to be a Souls-like as well, but maybe not as challenging in some aspects as other Souls-likes or Souls games from Software, so we'll have to wait and see. Then there is the Witcher 3 Red Kit modding tool being available right now, so officially came out. I've talked about this before in a previous gaming news video, and this is developed and implemented by Yigsoft, if I'm saying it right, in close collaboration with CD Projekt Red team. The Witcher 3 Red Kit offers a multitude of advanced features as well as full integration with Steam Workshop, making it easy for both creators and casual players to publish and use mods. As a reused, reworked, and expanded code base of Red Engine 3, it provides modders with unparalleled freedom to create new quests, characters, locations, and more. And as you can see here in the trailer, it showcases some of the stuff you can do with this mod, with an overview of its main features. The Witcher 3 Red Kit is free for all owners of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on PC and can now be downloaded from GOG, Steam, and Epic Game Store. Next up, LARION Studios opened a new studio in Warsaw focused on 2 new games of development. LARION Studios continues to expand following the success of Baldur's Gate 3, recognized as one of the most outstanding games of recent years at major industry award ceremonies like Game Awards and BAFTA. The Belgian studio, founded in 1996, recently announced the opening of a new division in Warsaw, Poland, and already has several job openings to bring in new talent. They shared the news with a tweet, so talking about obtains conditions enlarged. With 2 very ambitious RPGs now starting development, what better way to see our visions realized than by growing the team and opening a 7th studio in the heart of Poland's lively gaming scene? Welcome, LARION Studios, Warsaw. Very happy about this. I love LARION as a studio. They're probably my favorite independent studio at this point because of how they treat their employees, you know, the business model they use, things like that, and just the passion, you know, and Sven, the head of studio, like just the way he treats his people there, and like awesome dude, honestly, just awesome dude from what I've read about, seen, things like that. And I may have talked about this before too in previous video. Yeah, LARION is definitely working on 2 new projects that are their own IP, and Sven Vink himself, the CEO, company CEO, confirmed earlier this year that he has finished writing the first act of the company's next game. And even with the job openings, it's still kind of hard to tell like what exactly the next 2 RPG games would be. So very little details are still known about that. And honestly, it's going to be a broad scope, I guess, of jobs they're going to be, you know, trying to get for the studio. Obviously, you're going to need like expert RPG designers, writers, producers, and other various types of programmers, things like that. But honestly, the way it seems, you know, for LARION Studios, it's looking up for them. So I want things to keep, you know, looking up for them. I want them to keep doing well and just be a continual game changer in the video game industry, and, you know, continue to be that measuring stick in a sense of how to do an RPG and raise the bar even more next time. Lastly, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact Rival is live. So this launched earlier this week. Wuthering Waves is a free-to-play ARPG game developed and published by the game company Kuro Games. It released on May 23rd for various platforms including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. It is a gacha game with an open world aspect and is very similar to Genshin Impact. This was originally announced back in 2022. Wuthering Waves is a third-person action RPG, just like its main competitor, Genshin Impact. That will feature teams of 3 characters and will allow us to choose the gender of our main character at the start of the adventure. Similar to the Hoyoverse title, Kuro Games will have a large open world with some particular elements to facilitate exploration, such as grappling hooks or even the ability to run on walls. However, Wuthering Waves promises to place the greatest emphasis on its combat. While characters will have certain elemental affinities, the mechanics do not revolve around combining these elements as in the Hoyoverse title. Instead, the strength of assembling different teams will lie in each character having unique abilities when entering and exiting combat. This means that the different characters available through the game's gacha system will be able to interact with each other regardless of their elements. The other major differentiator of Wuthering Waves is the ability to use the enemies we defeat in combat. In Kuro Games' game, we can obtain different echoes, which function as abilities that allow us to summon certain enemies. These echoes can even be used when switching characters, meaning we can summon an enemy to attack while bringing one of our other characters into the battlefield without interrupting the attack. The echoes will also offer different bonuses to our stats. So very exciting stuff overall this week with the gaming news. Very positive stuff going on, I would say, this time around. Very nice, you know, because the last few times, if not past few times, there's been some negative stuff going on, and I hate, you know, when I talk about and report on some negative stuff, but also I definitely gotta, you know, let my voice be heard and opinion be heard when it comes to some of that negativity stuff going on with layoffs, etc. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments below about this. What are you excited about from the gaming news this week? Have you played Wuthering Waves yet? Are you checking out the Witcher 3 Red Kid mod yourself, messing with it? Are you excited for Black Myth Wukong coming out later this year? Are you playing Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on PC and really enjoying that, you know? Or LARION Studios, like, what do you think about that? Are you enjoying their games lately? Let me know. Love to hear from you in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. My name is Mike. Thanks for watching.